June 24th, 2020, we began production on Spider-Man: Best of Enemies. Our goal with this film was to take the typical tropes and cliches of a Spider-Man fan film and turn them on their head to make something that felt fresh and unique. Stories where Harry Osborn blames Spider-Man for his father's death and becomes the Green Goblin has been done to death in media. And I thought that with just a couple of changes we could make this played out story feel like something new. Usually, when Harry hears Norman in his head, he tells him directly to kill Spider-Man and get his revenge. But instead, this Norman tells him,
"Don't waste any more time on Peter. My biggest mistake was messing with him throughout this whole thing. Focus on the family business. That's what counts."
And on top of that, adding characters like Ben Reilly and the Jackal changed up the story too. And it planted the seeds for what's to come.
If you want a name, I decided to call you Ben.
April 9th, 2022, production on Spider-Man: Dead No More began. With this one, I wanted to experiment a bit further and tackle a story that no one dared touch: the Clone Saga. One of the most infamous Spider-Man stories, and not to mention one of the most hated. We set out to take concepts and characters from this convoluted mess of a story arc and create a streamlined and interesting narrative that also fit within the Buckeye Studios universe. Fast forward to the present, and now that films like Log Date 1, Dead No More, and Back to Basics have released, as well as Spider-Gwen, Scarlet Spider, and the final two Superior Spider-Man movies coming down the pipeline, we're all set to see these worlds collide with the film Spider-Man and the Spectacular Spider-Verse. So where does that leave my Spider-Man 4? How could we possibly top a massive Spider-Verse event like that? Well, we go back to our roots of trying to fix broken stories. Buckeye Studios' Spider-Man 4 will partially adapt perhaps the most disdained Spider-Man story out there: Spider-Man: One More Day. That's right, we're gonna do what Marvel Publication is too cowardly to do: fix One More Day and make a good story out of it. Similar to Dead No More's adaptation of the Clone Saga, this film will be made to fit in line with the rest of the Buckeye Marvel universe, so the context of the story will be very different. First couple of things that I want to confirm off the bat is that the plot is going to revolve around my Peter and Gwen's marriage instead of Mary Jane Watson. MJ has never really been a part of these movies. In terms of relationships, this saga is about Peter Parker and Gwen Stacy. So that's already a little bit of a big change that some of you are going to have to get used to. The thing that I am most excited about is the villain, who is none other than Marvel's demon, Mephisto. This film will undoubtedly have the largest scale out of any of the Buckeye Universe fan films so far. If I had to guess at this point, I'd say it's probably going to end up being around 2.5 hours long. In addition to that, perhaps the most important aspect of this film so far is that it is a bit of a sequel to the Spectacular Spider-Verse. So as well as tackling the One More Day marriage storyline, this film will involve members of the Spider-Verse teaming up with my Spidey to go up against Mephisto. Now I'm sure the burning question on everyone's mind is, will this be another collaboration with the Lonely Spider? Kind of. This film will revolve around a new team of Spider-Verse heroes, including returning faces like the Superior Spider-Man, Spider-Gwen, and Miles Morales' Spidey. We're bringing in some new faces too, such as Spider-Punk, Cosmic Spider-Man, and the Superior Octopus. They will all have a place in the story as well. Now time for the bad news, is that Eric Elliott's Spider-Man will not be appearing in the film. His character's journey and story ends in his final film, Spectacular Spider-Verse. But Eric will be coming down to help out with the production of this film. Would be a little weird if he wasn't here, especially considering that a lot of the TLS Spider characters are gonna be in it. Other than that, there's not that much that I want to reveal about this one right now. Production on this film will begin later this year, and we'll be continuing pre-production as we finish out the Shocker movie. This is going to be a massive film, the biggest project that a lot of us here have ever worked on in Buckeye Studios. And the only way that we're going to be able to make this film properly is with a little help from you guys once again. We unfortunately do not have the budget to make this film how we'd want, so in the description below you will see a link to a new Indiegogo page for this Spider-Verse movie. Our goal for the budget of this film is $4,000. This amount will help us a ton in acquiring all the costumes for the new Spider characters, plus new suits for returning characters, as well as food for the actors, and new locations too, so we can make this film look better than anything before. This goal will also help us fund the VFX we'd need to pull off complex powers and set pieces, as well as doing Mephisto right and getting him a costume and design that will do the character justice. And if you donate, we'll once again have some really cool perks like cast-signed posters and digital copies of the films. Some more we're talking about is early viewings of the film and another opportunity to hop on a call with the cast and crew for your own personal Q&A. Once again, please donate and help us create this massive Spider-Verse event. I want to send off my superhero series right, and we won't be able to do it without help from you guys. Thank you everyone so much for watching and once again helping us make our dreams a reality.